We are ready for our first of two turf races, and Royal Academy and the veteran Lester Piggott, the current favorite at 5-2. Priola supported at 5-1. Second choice, Who's to Pay, 7-2. Mark of Distinction, 8-1. Lady Winner, 14-1, and Steinland, the defending champion, at 5-1. Distant Relative was scratched this morning. Those are the current odds. Let's go to Tom Hammond.
And of course, Dick, this is always the most popular race on the Breeders' Cup card. It's had the most starters, 7. And number 1 is Royal Academy. Royal Academy is American bred but European raced, a 3-year-old who gives the great Lester Piggott his second Breeders' Cup mount. This colt is raced mostly in sprints, as far as a mile only once in his career. Number 2, Priolo. This French-trained horse is conditioned by Francois Boutin, who saddled Miesque for back-to-back Breeders' Cup mile victories. The dual Group 1 winner is ridden by Cash Asmussen, the American jockey who is now the leading rider in France. Number 3, Who's to Pay, owned by the Rokeby stable of 83-year-old Paul Mellon, one of the patriarchs of the American turf, and trained by Hall of Famer Mac Miller, who has seen 2 of his outstanding young runners, Red Ransom and Eastern Echo, felled by injury. Who's to Pay has won 3 of 4 since switching to the grass, and though getting 16 pounds, beat Steinland at Saratoga. Number 4, Jala Gel, a Canadian-based runner, beaten by Expensive Decision and Who's to Pay in his last 2 starts. Trainer Alton Quanbeck is a former steeplechase jockey. Number 5, Mark of Distinction, trained by Luca Comani, whose father was 10-time champion trainer in Italy and whose mother was twice champion lady rider in that country. Regarded as England's top miler, Mark of Distinction made 1 foray into the United States, finishing 4th to Steinland in the Caesars International, ridden today by Frankie Dettori, a hot young rider in England. Number 6, It's All Greek to Me, owned by Jerry Redding, who's developed a number of hair care products. This 3-year-old has never been off the board in 6 turf starts, but not against the kind he meets today. It's the first Breeders' Cup mount for jockey Nakatani. Number 7, Lady Winner, who tries to become the 4th filly to win the mile, trained by Maurice Silbert, born in Cairo, now training in France, where he developed the champion filly Dahlia. Lady Winner, though, is no Dahlia. Number Shotgun Scott is number 8, finished 4th in last year's juvenile. He's earned over $500,000 this year, only has a single win in 5 placings. Shotgun Scott was 2nd in his only other start on the turf. Number 9 is Expensive Decision, owned by Edward Shapoff and trained by his 71-year-old father Skip, who left Harvard after a year to join his father at the track. This horse set a world's record for a mile on the turf in the Kelso Handicap at Belmont October 8th, and is the first Breeders' Cup mount for grass specialist Jean-Luc Samin. Samin on the green. Steinland is number 10. He bowled his way through along the hedge to win last year's mile, the pinnacle of a championship campaign, but he's had few flashes of that sort of form in 1990. He ran this distance only once this year and won, but is currently on a 3-race losing streak. Distant Relative was scratched, which brings us to Great Normand. Do you think he's a long shot, 30-1 on the morning line? Well, he won the Meadowlands Cup in his last start at 181-1, the longest prize horse to ever win a graded race. Colway Rally's number 13. His only win this year was at a mile on the turf. His trainer, Julio Canani, grew up in Peru but ran away from home and came to the U.S. at age 16. Working as a groom, he won enough money betting one day at the races to claim a horse and begin his career as a trainer. Number 14 is Go Dutch, who came to the U.S. from England in July and hasn't been worse than 2nd in 5 starts. Owned by Dorothy Mead, who operates Quiet Meadow Farms in Connecticut and New York, where emotionally disturbed children can ride and work with horses. And that's the field for the Breeders' Cup Mile. Dick?
And watch out for the European horses, and they brought maybe their best ever to a Breeders' Cup. Royal Academy, Priola, Mark of Distinction, and Lady Winner.
5 horses have raced in the mile and gone on to championships, including Steinland, the morning line favorite to repeat his win. But that could be asking a lot off his recent form. One of his occasional moments of brilliance this year came in May in the Hollywood Turf Cup. Laying just off the early pace, Steinland wore down Hawkster at the stretch of this mile-and-a-quarter event and got up to win it by a neck. Who's to Pay is the horse to watch, beating Steinland at Saratoga while getting 16 pounds. But he has won 3 of 4 since moving to the turf. His only loss was to Expensive Decision, who was recording his first stakes win in more than a year. It came in this race, the Kelso Handicap at Belmont, as Expensive Decision stalked the early pace, then exploded in the stretch, finally getting by Who's to Pay and setting a new world record for a mile on the turf. Priolo, the French horse, is trained by Francois Boutin, who saddled Miette for back-to-back wins in the Breeders' Cup Mile. Mark of Distinction is making his second U.S. excursion. He was fourth to Steinlen in his previous trip, the Caesars International. But Mark of Distinction looked good in his last start, beating an excellent field, including distant relative, in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes over a mile at Ascot. Perhaps a preview of a European mile victory today. Ready to call it. They'll go a mile on the grass for a purse of $1 million.
Last year's mile winner is back to defend his victory. Steinlen is in the starting gate. Two more to load here. 99-1 Colway Rally. And the outsider, Go Dutch. Field of 14. A strong and formidable group from Europe in here to face America's best. To pay, and they're off in the Breeders' Cup Mile, and Shotgun Scott is away quickly. Expensive Decision is right there with him, and those two duel early. Lady Winner with good early speed is angled over quickly to the inside. Go Dutch on the outside fourth. Steinlen is up close to the early pace. He's now fifth. Mark of Distinction's taken under a hard hold. He was steadied in behind Lady Winner. On the outside, beginning to move up now. That's It's All Greek to Me. He's about 6 lengths off the lead. Mark of Distinction is now pinned down on the inside. Colway Rally with clear running moving up. Long shot Great Normandy's about 9 lengths off the lead. Royal Academy with clear running on the far outside, and down inside Who's to Pay, 9 lengths from the pacemakers. Priolo is second to last. Gelajo trails the field. Expensive Decision and Shotgun Scott, those two moving together. The quarter went in a sharp 22 and 3/5 seconds as the field enters the far turn. A grueling half mile here of 45-4, and it's Expensive Decision now who shakes loose from Shotgun Scott. Go Dutch. It's All Greek to Me is now coming with his sharp rally on the outside. Steinlen is now faded to fifth. On the outside, Mark of Distinction has clear running now, and here comes Mark of Distinction with his run for the lead. Lady Winner is in behind a phalanx of horses with nowhere to go. Royal Academy and Lester Pickett are 6 lengths off the lead, but they're launching their rally now as they come down to the final furlong. It's All Greek to Me has a short lead. Expensive Decision battling back. Mark of Distinction. Royal Academy is thundering down the center of the turf course, and Steinlen is fifth. They're coming down to the finish. Lester Pickett flailing away at Royal Academy. It's All Greek to Me toward the inside. Here's the wire. Head bobbing finish. Royal Academy does it, and the living legend out of retirement, 54-year-old Lester Pickett pulls off the upset here.
Thank goodness for a happy ending and a wonderful story. 54-year-old Lester Pickett, who hadn't ridden for 5 years, was in prison for a year in England, rallying Royal Academy, didn't break well at all, was last out of the gate. He rated his colt, a Kentucky bred, well, and this royally bred son of Nijinsky, the second out of Crimson Saint, down the stretch to win this mile turf. Oh my. We'll be back with the official results as Royal Academy has won the mile turf, apparently. We'll be back after these words from your local station.
Here, and he did it today just as everyone from England thought he would. That's Lester aboard Royal Academy, and this is a horse that's been a sprinter primarily, only his second race in his distance as long as a mile. Lester sets him to the outside, he chases him down in the straight, and right now hits the front, besting It's All Greek to Me, and wins it at the wire under a furious fusillade of whips from Lester Pickett. Here's the way the photo finish, our photo finish recorded it. Royal Academy with a long head victory over It's All Greek to Me. Meanwhile, between horses, number 2, Priolo, the French horse, gets up for third.
Charlie O'Brien is the son of trainer Vincent O'Brien, who unfortunately couldn't share this glory with you. Where is Dad?
Unfortunately, he's at home. He got a slight bout of the flu this week, and he just couldn't travel.
Well, he won't see this live, but he'll see it shortly on tape. What do you have to say to Dad?
Well, I'm only delighted. We've thought about this race all year.
He was able to gallop along and then really let it fly the last 6 furlongs and pays 765, 60, and 420. It's All Greek to Me will please those who backed him to place at 1820 and 920, and Priola at 480, and an exciting exacta payoff of $470 and change. John, you had
for the Hollywood Gold Cup sent on their way. They came off to a perfect start. Farm Away is going to the lead, but Marquetry being pushed along, gets a tap on the shoulder, and Marquetry kicks on to get the lead. Farm Away quite content to let him go out and lead them. Anshan is third, then Summer Squall, It's All Greek to Me. Prized is 5 lengths off the leader, then Western Playboy, Music Prospector, and Roanoke is at the back. 7 lengths would cover the field. They head past the 7/8 pole, and Marquetry takes full use of his lightweight and goes out to lead at 1.5 lengths. Chris McCarron has Farm Away right there in second. Summer Squall scrapes the paint in third. Outside of him comes Anshan. Prized is in 5th position, 5 lengths off the leaders. It's All Greek to Me racing outside of him. Western Playboy is back 6 off that leader. Then Music Prospector, and Roanoke is tucked in at the rail. 8 lengths would cover the whole field. They have 5/8 of a mile to go, and Marquetry leads them 3/4 of a length. Farmer Way now right there in second. Anshan is third. Summer Squall 4th at the rail, 3.5 off them. It's All Greek to Me is starting his move on the outside, and there goes It's All Greek to Me moving up now to get third. Prized is 6 lengths off the leader. They have a half mile left to go, and Marquetry now being pushed along up front continues to lead it to Farm Away. It's All Greek to Me has got up to race in third with Anshan. Summer Squall has been pushed along at the rail. He's not responding. Prized has 7 lengths to make up. They approach the quarter pole. Marquetry continues to lead it. Chris McCarron now makes his move on Farm Away. Farm Away, Marquetry. These two head for home together. It's All Greek to Me is back in third. The others are far back. 1/8 of a mile to go. Marquetry has the weight advantage. Farm Away has the class. Which one's going to win it? Farm Away, Marquetry. Farm Away wearing him down inch by inch, but Marquetry's tough and hanging on. They're going to hit the wire together. Here it is, and Marquetry has...
Here's a shocker. We'll have a little more to say about it in a moment, but this horse wires the field.
Running 1.25 miles for $1 million purse, with $550,000 of that going to the winner. The field contains many of the horses you'll likely see in November's Breeders' Cup Classic. There on the rail is last year's turf champion It's All Greek to Me, trying his luck on the dirt with Corey Nakatani at 7. Anshan from the Charlie Whittingham stable at 20. There's the #1 horse in the country, Farm Away, with Chris McCarron at 3-2. Stalwart Charger is next at 58. Moving on in the field, we see Twilight Agenda, who's also from the D. Wayne Lucas stable at 6. Best Pal, the only 3-year-old here, the first to compete in the ACRS series, and because of that, he gets an 8-pound weight break. You see 116 versus 124 on the rest of the horses. Festin, the ACRS points leader, is next at 9-2 with Eddie Delahousse. And rounding out the field is the Kentucky Derby winner and last year's Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Unbridled, with Craig Perrette at 6-1. That's the field for the Del Mar's first $1 million event. So here now with the call is Trevor Denman.
Field for the Pacific Classic sent on their way. They came off to a perfect start. Stalwart Charger, Twilight Agenda, Farm Away. Those three go to the lead. Farm Away taking the lead down at the rail. It's All Greek to Me is right there in fourth, and Anshan is showing some early speed as well. Best Pal getting a perfect spot, tucking in just behind the leaders. Then there's a gap of 6 back to Unbridled, and Festin is last. He's 12 lengths off the leaders. They head towards the 7/8 pole, and Chris McCarron has the favourite Farm Away out here on the lead, and he's taking them along the perfect pace. He's not going slow, but he's certainly not using him. Twilight Agenda is second. Anshan is third. It's All Greek to Me, scraping the paint 3 lengths off them. Stalwart Charger on the outside of that. Best Pal is going nice and comfortable here in 6th. He's only 4 lengths off the leaders. Then there's a gap of 5 lengths back to Unbridled. And as usual, Festin can't go with him. He's 20 lengths off the lead. They have 5/8 of a mile to go, and it's still Farm Away, just on a long rein out here. He must be enjoying himself out here. He's getting a little pressure now from Twilight Agenda, but they're not going fast. Then we have Stalwart Charger being pushed along in third. Best Pal has moved up fourth. Best Pal's going to have to race wide, though. Anshan is next. It's All Greek to Me at the rail. Unbridled, still not been asked to run. He has 8 lengths to make up. It's another 6 back to Festin. 5/16 of a mile to go, and Dwayne Lucas is dominating the Pacific Classic with Farm Away and Twilight Agenda. Best Pal coming after them now. Unbridled is starting to make up ground. Festin is too far back at the top of the lane, and it's Kent DeSormo and Twilight Agenda now sent for home. Farm Away can find no more. Best Pal is third, then Unbridled, and It's All Greek to Me. But it's Twilight Agenda well clear in the Pacific Classic as they come to the 16th hole. He's starting to shift out just a little. Best Pal is coming after him now. Twilight Agenda, but here comes Best Pal. Best Pal going to catch him at the wire. Best Pal has got Twilight Agenda, and Best Pal and Pat Valenzuela win the $1 million Pacific.
The only 3-year-old in the field and the first to compete in the ACRS Series, Best Pal wins the Pacific Classic and sets a new track record at Del Mar, 1:59.4 for the 1.25 miles. It's the second $1 million event the gelding has won. He also captured the $1 million Hollywood Futurity back in December. The Best Pal is a son of Habitoni out of the Bet She Did and was bred in California by his owner, John Mabey.
Trevor, and here's how the field shapes up at the moment. Here are the odds on the right, the jockeys underneath the horse's name. We have Cartagena, who is a filly, at 5-1, and It's All Greek to Me at 4-1. The favorite now has become Tight Spot, which was the early morning favorite, but just now has become that here at the track. And 3-1 for Falago, who would be a very interesting race here. And let's look at some of the contenders, Trevor.
Tight Spot, a powerful, muscular colt. He's not flashy, but very professional. Good disposition, and that helps him relax on the lead. Watch him break from the outside gate. Natural speed. He's on the lead immediately.
I think if Tight Spot gets an easy lead today, I think he'll handle it pretty good. If he doesn't get an easy lead, well, I think he can come from off the pace.
Ron McAnally trained John Henry to 2 Arlington Million wins. John Henry was much like Tight Spot in attitude. Not flashy, but he won races. The grey, It's All Greek to Me. Not a big horse, but what he lacks in size, he more than makes up for in heart. Watch him win here the Alcorn Stakes at Keeneland. He wasn't particularly fond of the going, but just look at him pin those ears back, and nobody's going to go by It's All Greek to Me. Canadian champion Izvestia, the richest horse in the race with earnings of more than $2.7 million. He's almost unbeatable in Canada. His English-born trainer, Roger Atfield, is 4-time champion trainer in Canada, and that's a record. That comes of wins like this in the Eclipse Handicap. Falago, what a pretty-looking horse he is. He's also a long horse, and that allows him to cover a lot of ground. He's trained by the inimitable Bobby Frankel. Here's Falago winning the Arlington Handicap. Look at him stretch his neck out, a long stride. He's really loving it out here, and he's going to be very tough to beat this afternoon.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there are some of the contenders here in this 11th running of the Arlington Million. We're moments away from it.
There's Falago going in, one from the outside, and the big, big long shot from England. 100, just a one-time winner going in. He's loaded in, and it looks like he's set for a start. Field for the Arlington Million now sent on their way, and going to the early lead is Julie Crone with Chenin Blanc. On the outside of her, Tight Spot. Came out a little awkward in the white cap, and Tight Spot running up alongside of Chenin Blanc, who's going to carry Tight Spot wide. Down at the rail, the Canadian champion Izvestia is smartly placed in third. And here's the filly, Cartagena, in the green colours in fourth down at the rail. They're going very, very slow early on. And behind that, we have Al Hanib and It's All Greek to Me. The two stable companions are 5 lengths off the leaders. Then it's Hundra and Dr. Root. Falago in the red colours is back second last, and he's 8 lengths off them. And the long shot Sagasa's Choice is last, 15 lengths off the lead. They head towards the 3/4 pole, and Julie Crone has the long shot. Chenin Blanc setting the pace. But there's Lafitte Penkai in the white cap on Tight Spot, just waiting to pounce on that leader when he's good and ready up there. Izvestia is scraping paint in third. Cartagena is going along comfortably enough in fourth position, 5 lengths off the leaders. Kent DeSormo has Al Hanib in fifth position. They've got 7 lengths to make up. Another 2 back to It's All Greek to Me and Dr. Roots. Pat Valenzuela and Falago in the red colours will start to move into the screen on the outside. They're about 10 lengths off the lead as they pass the half-mile pole, and then it's Sagasa's Choice and Hundra, the 2 long shots trailing the Million field. 3/8 of a mile left to go. Still the long shot. Chenin Blanc taking them along. Tight Spot is right there in second. Cartagena, the filly, running a good one in third. Is Vestia on the outside of her. Then Al Hanib on the outside for Largo. It's All Greek to Me, not firing his last. They come to the top of the lane, and now the running is really going to start in the Million. Chenin Blanc at the rail. Lafitte Pink Eye is starting to niggle a Tight Spot in the white cap now. And here comes Tight Spot to take on Chenin Blanc at the rail. Cartagena, the South American Al Hanib in the orange colours. Is Vestia there, but it's down to Tight Spot, Al Hanib and Chenin Blanc. Tight Spot between horses and Lafitte Pink Eye. Here's Cartagena coming at the rail. Cartagena, Tight Spot, Al Hanib. Tight Spot, Al Hanib at the wire. Tight Spot has won the Million by a head to Al Hanib and Cartagena. What a run from Chenin Blanc in fourth. Dr. Roots came running on late, and then came his Vestia. It's All Greek to Me. I want to tell you, he probably still is the greatest jockey in the world, and I would say categorically the greatest jockey when it comes to a photo finish like that. There is still no number in the board, but it looked like Tight Spot won it. Al Hanib a head back second, and what a run from Cartagena, the Irish-bred filly. She was right there at the rail, beaten about a neck in third position. The fractions there, they went to half in 47 and 3, 1:11 and 1 for the 3/4, and the final time a very respectable 1:59 and 2/5. Jack?
All right, Trevor, thank you very much. There you're looking at Tight Spot. He is now 8 for 8. If this is unofficial results, of course, and we'll have the official results for you in a moment. And a rousing finish. It's 11th Arlington Million, ridden by Lafitte Pink Eye Jr., and if it holds up, of course, his second win here. Ron McAnally, the trainer's third. Unofficial Tight Spot, Al Hanib from Argentina, and Cartagena, the filly, bred in Ireland and raced in France, and she had a little trouble on the rail. Here's the stretch run here, and it gets very, very crowded. Julie Crone on Chenin Blanc, a 30-to-1 shot, almost stole the whole thing. She's still on the lead here, but here come from behind boys, going to make it very tough on everybody. Against the rail there in the green is Cartagena. And what a cavalry charge it is. So unofficially.
And this would be another feather in his cap should he capture the Breeders' Cup Turf on In the Groove. And the horses are coming on the track for the Breeders' Cup Turf, which is sponsored by Budweiser. Number 1 is Sky Classic, who has won 6 in a row, including his only start on Churchill Downs turf. He beat an international field over 1.5 miles in the Rothmans. Number 2, Filago. This colt has thrived since leaving Europe this year and coming to Bobby Frankel's barn. The former king of the Claimers, Brooklyn-born Frankel, has a shot at an Eclipse Award as leading trainer. Filago comes off a win at this distance at Santa Anita. Number 3, Quest for Fame, won the 1990 Epsom Derby for Prince Khalid Abdullah, a member of the royal family of Saudi Arabia. The problem is he hasn't won a race in 5 outings since then. Number 4, Pistolet Bleu. Daniel Wildenstein's colt has won 5 of 7 lifetime starts, but one of his most impressive races was a loss, a third in the Arc de Triomphe, where he made a strong move in the middle of the race. Ridden by Dominique Buff, one of the new generation of French jockeys that ride in the American style. Number 5, El Signor, now 7 years old and nearing the end of his career. He was 9th in the Arc, named for Hall of Fame trainer Senor Horatio Luro, grandfather of owner and trainer Billy Wright. Number 6, Solar Splendor, was scratched. Number 7, It's All Greek to Me, America's champion grass horse after finishing 2nd in the mile last year. After a 7th place finish in the Arlington Million, it was determined he had a displaced soft palate, and after treatment, he equaled a course record at Keeneland. Number 8, Pigeon Voyageur. Trainer Andre Fabre is qualified to practice law in France, but he practices horsemanship instead. He's been leading trainer the last 4 years. Fabre's in the wings, won the turf last year. With a rough trip, Pigeon Voyageur closed well to be 5th in the Arc. Number 9, Cartagena. The Aga Khan is spiritual leader of some 23 million Ismaili Muslims and makes significant contributions to social and economic development in the Third World. He's also one of the world's most successful thoroughbred owners and breeders. His filly Cartagena was 3rd to Tight Spot and to Filago in her only 2 U.S. starts. Number 10, In the Groove, a hard-knocking 4-year-old filly who has raced exclusively against the boys this year. Transplanted Kentuckian Steve Coffin in the saddle for this race. He's 0 for the Breeders' Cup. Number 11 is Dear Doctor. Another transplanted American, Cash Asmussen, now in France, rides Dear Doctor, who is a transplanted French-bred horse now racing in America with 2 strong seconds at Belmont. Number 12 is Sanganika, the first of 3 mutual field horses, ridden for the first time by Angel Cordero. The filly has 1 win and 12 starts in France. Number 13 is Sadler's Hall, Irish and English campaign, trained by Michael Stout. And number 14, Miss Alleged, who is winless this year and was 11th in the Arc de Triomphe, 5th in the Budweiser International. And select the international champion in the Breeders' Cup Turf. There's an update on the odds now. 3-1 on Sky Classic out of Canada. Pistolet Blue getting a lot of support after a third in the Arc. He is 5-2. 4-1 on It's All Greek to Me, the defending grass champion. Pigeon Voyageur 17-1. Cartagena 6-1. And the odds reflecting a wide open race. John Veach, you told me that you thought Sky Classic
and didn't have the early foot that he could have shown, although he tendency is always to come from behind.
You can see the big almost white horse now, El Senor, at the back of the pack in the early part of the race. The Breeders' Cup Turf over 1.5 miles. The purse is $2 million. Tom Durkin with a call.
Final horses moving into line. Steve Cawthon taking his spot here as he returns to Churchill Downs. Aboard In the Groove. Miss Alleged is moving in. The final horse into line will be Dear Doctor, ridden by another American jockey. Now rides in Europe, Cash Asmussen, who had a great... Ready to go, and they are off immediately. It's All Greek to Me. Bounds right to the front. Quest for Fame is also right there. Pistolet Blue and closest to the inside, Sky Classic. Miss Alleged is 5 wide, moving for the fire turn. Cartagena's running along in 6th position now. Then down on the inside, Sadler's Hall is racing 7th. Pigeon Voyager is racing in 8th position. Dear Doctor is 4 wide, racing in 9th. And it's In the Groove. She's racing 10th in behind horses. And Falago is now running about 10 lengths from the front, unhurried in the early going. Then there's a gap of 3 back to the late running, long striding El Senor. Saganika trails the turf field as they turn for home with Canadian Sky Classic leading the way. But he is prompted on the outside by last year's turf champion, It's All Greek to Me. English Derby winner, Quest for Fame, tucked neatly in behind the front runner, and Pistolet Blue. He's got a very good position early. He's running along, and he's moving smoothly in 4th. Cartagena's 5th, and Miss Alleged, and Sadler's Hall toward the inside, Pigeon Voyager. Falago is down inside horses. He's about 8 lengths from the front. The pace is sedate, 25 flat for the quarter. They've run a 1/2 mile in 50 and 4/5 seconds. So Sky Classic moving comfortably with It's All Greek to Me. Quest for Fame tucked neatly in behind them, nestled at the rail in 3rd position. Pistolet Blue still moving smoothly on the outside. Then Cartagena, Miss Alleged toward the rail. Pigeon Voyagers on the outside. And then farther back in the field, it's Falago. He'll have a lot of running to do now. He's 8 lengths from the front, and he's pinned down inside In the Groove, who's under the firm grasp of Steve Cawthon. And on the far outside, Dear Doctor with Cash Asmussen. Far back trailing now, El Senor. He's better than 15 lengths from the front. And Saganika. They've run 3/4 mile in 15 and 4. And now less than a 1/2 mile left in this Breeders' Cup Turf. Sky Classic has been prompted the whole way by It's All Greek to Me. Quest for Fame has had a perfect trip. Pistolet Blue still waiting patiently to make his move. Cartagena, then Miss Alleged. On the outside, Pigeon Voyager. Then toward the inside, Sadler's Hall. El Senor is picking off horses on the far outside. And Falago has dropped out of it, and the field turns for home now. The stage is set for the stretch drive. It's All Greek to Me. Powers to a short lead. Sky Classic trying to battle back right there toward the inside. It's All Greek to Me. Quest for Fame is charging hard. Pistolet Blue not doing enough here. And Miss Alleged is flying down the center of the course. It's All Greek to Me desperately trying to hold. And Miss Alleged pulls off another shocker here on Breeders' Cup Day 1991. Just another day and another upset here. It's All Greek to Me was second as Miss Alleged wins the turf at a big
Order of the day. Yeah, I don't know who's going to hit that pick 7. It may take 3 winners to take a winning pick 7 ticket today after the upsets we've seen. Miss Alleged has not won in 1991 prior to this race. She was 11th in the Arc de Triomphe. She was 5th in the Budweiser International, but young Frenchman Eric Legris set her to the middle of the turf course, and she was flying at the end. It appeared that It's All Greek to Me was going to be home, but Miss Alleged coming on at 40-1 just to win the race. This is Falago. Falago injured in the race and now being unfortunately loaded into that equine ambulance.
Right front.
An injury to the right front leg apparently on Falago. But there is your winner, Miss Alleged. She beats the boys, racing in the colors of the Fairs Farm of Issam Fairs, trained by Pascal Barry. This is a Kentucky-bred filly by Alleged out of Miss Tusculum by Bold Nesian. Now here's a look at Filago, who is number 2 on the rail right here, ridden by Pat Valenzuela. And right there, takes a bad step, and Valenzuela, sensing that, begins to pull him up, not wanting to risk further injury. So Valenzuela pulling up Filago, who is being loaded into the equine ambulance. And Miss Alleged, officially the winner. It's all Greek to me. Last year, Royal Academy just beat him in the mile. This year, it's the turf in which he's second. Quest for Fame is third. Jenny Ornstein has a report on the injured horse Filago.
Good job as well. Bad luck, Wally Delaz. Your turn's got to come. Let's go now to Tom Durkin.
No apparent excuses for the front runners. It's all Greek to me. And here is the eventual winner, Miss Alleged. She had a pretty good trip, about 5 lengths most of the way around the racetrack, and then the jock tips off cover. Here comes Eric Legree with Miss Alleged. She comes storming past horses that have beat her before. Pistolet Blue has beaten her earlier in his career, and now she comes. We have a phrase for races like this in New York when a horse wins like this. It says, "Go figure." Tom.
Tom, she had been injured prior to the running of the Arctic Trains. Miss Alleged, as we look at the official results in the Breeders' Cup Turf, 86-20. The pick 7 today is going to be unreal. If anyone has a winning ticket, there may be none. It's all Greek to me second. Quest for Fame third, and another hefty exacta. Bob Newmeyer with a trophy presentation.
Hollywood on Sunday, the Grade 1 $500,000 Hollywood Turf Cup. This at the distance of 1.5 miles, and let's hear track announcer Trevor Denman's call.
For the Hollywood Turf Cup, sent on their way. They came away to a very smooth beginning. Eternity Star is going to the early lead. It's All Greek to Me is right there in second. Tide Mark getting up third. Wide Colony showing a little bit of speed today, or now dropping back 3 lengths off that leader. Lights Out is scraping faint behind that. Outside of that, Miss Alleged 4.5 lengths off the leaders, and Quest for Fame content to trail early. 6 lengths would cover the whole field. Into the stretch first time round, and Kori Nakatani has Eternity Star out here on the lead, just taking them along at a slow pace. Tide Mark is racing in second, and It's All Greek to Me content to sit there in third. Wide Colony's on the outside of him. Lights Out is down at the rail. He's 5 lengths off these leaders. Miss Alleged running comfortably alongside of him. And Quest for Fame quite content with his position at the back of the pack, 7 off the leaders. Under the wire now with 1 lap to go, and Eternity Star not in any hurry at all. He's just cantering along on the lead. He has it by 1 3/4 lengths to Tide Mark, and It's All Greek to Me. Miss Alleged now starts to move up on the outside of Wide Colony. Lights Out is now taken off the rail. He's going to move up on the outside of horses, and Quest for Fame still trailing. Only 7 lengths covers the whole field. 7/8 of a mile left to run now, and still Eternity Star got this easy lead out here, got his ears cocked. He's just ambling along a length in front from Tide Mark. It's All Greek to Me is in third. Miss Alleged right alongside of him. Wide Colony now dropped back 4.5 off the leaders. Lights Out has run up on the outside of him. Quest for Fame is last, 6 lengths off the lead. They head to the half-mile pole, and now Tide Mark comes to put some pressure on Eternity Star, but he's still full of run down at the rail. Miss Alleged is moving up to take third. It's All Greek to Me holding his own fourth, now 2 off the leader. Wide Colony trying to hang tough down at the rail as he kicks on with it. Lights Out is only 3 lengths off them, and Quest for Fame has 5 to make up. 3/8 of a mile left to go. Eternity Star. Right alongside of him comes Tide Mark. On the outside, Miss Alleged. Chris McCarron hasn't moved on her. Now she's coming up on the grandstand side. It's All Greek to Me needs room. Wide Colony at the rail. Then Lights Out and Quest for Fame. Now they turn it into a sprint for home. Eternity Star. Miss Alleged is out after him. Eternity Star. Miss Alleged. It's All Greek to Me coming gamely in third. But the filly Miss Alleged now gets the lead. It's All Greek to Me. Quest for Fame.
Good, exciting finish in the Hollywood Turf Cup, and a bit of deja vu right here. In the Breeders' Cup Turf at Churchill Downs on November the 2nd, the order of finish was Misalleged, It's All Greek to Me, and Quest for Fame. Well, son of a gun, look at this. At Hollywood Park and the Hollywood Turf Cup, the same order of finish, and the one different thing was that all three horses had three different riders. Misalleged ridden the victory here by Chris McCarron. She also has a new trainer, that being Charlie Whittingham. Misalleged winning the Hollywood Turf Cup, It's All Greek to Me second, and Quest for Fame third. Same order of finish as the Breeders' Cup Turf, and it isn't often that